according to the Global Burden of Disease study published by WHO, approximately 1.71 billion people worldwide suffer from disorders and diseases of the musculoskeletal system. The prevalence of these diseases varies depending on age and diagnosis, but they affect people of all ages everywhere in the world. Diseases of the musculoskeletal system, MS, cover a wide range of disorders affecting joints, bones, muscles, and soft tissues. Many MS diseases are recurrent or lifelong. The main consequences of MS diseases are usually prolonged pain, physical disability, loss of independence, decreased social interaction, and deterioration of quality of life. According to the publication by an international group of researchers, Sweden, USA, United Kingdom, based on WHO and United Nations data, between 1986 and 2011, a period of 25 years, the total number of deaths from diseases of the musculoskeletal system and their share in the total number of deaths increased. And this was mainly due to aging of the population. In the article, Chiadelri, Wolf, and England, diseases of the musculoskeletal system as the main cause of death in 58 countries in 1986 to 2011, in analysis of trends in the WHO mortality database, BMC, musculoskeletal disorder 1862-2070. The house mortality rates from diseases of the musculoskeletal system were observed in Central America and the lowest in the Eastern Europe. The increase in mortality rates from diseases of the musculoskeletal system in Southern Europe, the Caribbean, Central America, and South America over the past decade requires further action. The authors of this publication did not take into account the endotoxification factor and its effects on the human connective tissue system, HCTS, as the author of this report reported in Rome. Report in Rome. Krashenyuk AI, endoecological poisoning of the world's population, a new clinical indicator has been introduced. Integral blood toxicity. AIDS International Conference on Traditional Medicine, Ethnomedicine, and Natural Treatment Methods. 5 to 7 June 2025, Rome. Let us take a closer look at the problem of cerebral palsy, CP, and the consequences of stroke. The lesions of the MS were new and unexpected as complications of the post-COVID syndrome. In these diseases, we observe pronounced lesions of the MS. Our 30 years of experience in using the original medical leech treatment technology has allowed us to obtain unique treatment results for these diseases. This technology is called the system method of leaching, SML, and protected by a patent of Russian Federation. Some of these results have already been published. These are priority publications, and some are still awaiting publication. Krashenyuk AI, Krashenyuk SV, Hirudotherapy as a method of rehabilitation of children suffering from cerebral palsy. International Journal of Immunorehabilitation, 1997, number 4. Krashenyuk IE, neurotrophic, neurostimulating, and neurotransmitter effects of hirudotherapy. The pathogenetic mechanism of treatment of disease of the human nervous system, published Acta Scientific Medical Sciences, 2020. Krashenyuk AI, Burkhonov AB, aseptic necrosis of joints as a complication of post-COVID syndrome. Clinical case, Journal of Clinical Research, Reviews and Reports, 2022, Volume 4. These clinical results are based on a new scientific facts about the biological and medical properties of Hiruda medicinalis, medicinal leeches. Let us briefly focus on one of them. In 1994, in the Russian Federation, the film Treatment of Cerebral Palsy was shown on the federal TV channel number 5. The heroes of the film were 3 boys. 2 of them were 6 years old, and 1 was 11 months old. This film shows the results of the treatment of cerebral palsy by hirudotherapy. Please show the short film. In this video, you can observe how the effect of the medical leech, Hiruda medicinalis, affects the motor activity of a child at the age of 6 years. Diagnosis: cerebral palsy, tetraparesis, with an emphasis on diplegia on the lower extremities. The author's system leech treatment method was used. After 3 months, the spasticity of the feet of the lower extremities disappeared without surgery. And after 9 months, the child walked on his own, using furniture, the wall of the office, or the hands of his parents as a support. This is a video document of the unique treatment results, which opens the door to a new life of independent walking for the child. The author of the original treatment methods was Dr. Krashenyuk AI. The most emotional shots of this film are shots about relieving spastic muscle tension in children and the possibility of canceling the ballerina's foot symptom. This phenomenon allowed children to avoid complex surgical operations such as orthotics or verticalization. The film caused a positive public response, and it can still be viewed on our website, academic Hirudotherapy. Almost 30 years have passed since the screening of this film, but its name still remains unchanged. Cerebral palsy is treated only in Russia with medical leeches. In 1996, we patented the discovery of the neurotrophic effect of the medicinal leech. Russian Federation patent priority of March 14, 1996. And almost 3 and 5 years later, in the laboratory of Professor Baskova, Moscow University, it was confirmed that 3 of the components of the medicinal leech secretion known at the time, destabilized M, bdelin B, and bdelistazine, have neurotrophic and neuritis stimulating effects. 2 publications. It is these components of leech secretion that are associated with the phenomenon of relieving spasticity in children diagnosed with cerebral palsy and in adults suffering from muscle spasticity after stroke. Next slide. Next slide. Please, left picture control and right picture after using the extract from the head of the leech. This is organotypic culture of chicken embryo spinal ganglia. Stimulation of nerve cells, neurons, observed by phase contrast microscopy in the culture of nerve ganglion cells of 10-day chicken embryo. Left picture, initial state, and right picture, after exposure of leeches. Visible characteristic growth of neuritis processes. I mean, bridges. From the work Krashenyuk AI, Krashenyuk SV, Chalisova, 1996, patent of RF. On these 2 slides, next slide, you can observe how the effect of medicinal leech Hirudo medicinalis affects the human brain during blood sucking. These data were obtained using the superposition brain scanning method. A discrete analysis of brain radiation was performed at 3 minutes interval. And after 24 minutes, the leech placed on the area of the lower ear fossa moved away. And the last 2 red slides reflect the picture of the brain after the leech leaves. The peculiarity of the experiment was that each neurotransmitter was assigned a specific color, which in turn is related to the frequency in the frequency range of hertz of each mediator. Next slide. neurotransmitters has color values. First, serotonin, violet blue. Second, acetylcholine, light green. Third, histamine, dark purple, etc. Next slide. We can see the dynamics of resonance activation of neurotransmitter system of the brain during a session of Hirudotherapy. And you can see the slide before, and then we can see picture in every 3 minutes interval. And we can see the increasing the different kinds of neurotransmitters in the brain. This is the dynamics of resonance activation of neurotransmitter system of the brain in a session of Hirudotherapy. And this is a real brain of a 4-year-old child. Diagnosis, LLA. Next slide. And this slide shows us the influence of Hirudotherapy on the results of the Kirlian technology technique, or GDV. Left picture before and right picture after the application of one leech. Thank you very much for your attention.